What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me on the #1 channel for senior care entrepreneurs. So today we're gonna talk about, doesn't it frustrate you when you go to a video to learn something and they don't give you like the practical how-to steps? They sell you on the thumbnail, they sell you in the title, and you're all excited, and you're like, well, I already knew that. I already read that. I know what a SMART goal is, whatever that acronym means, but how do I actually get there? Yes, I get it. I get goal setting, but how do I get there? So today we're gonna talk about the practical ways to actually achieve the goals that you want to set or that you have set for your life. That being said, let's back into this thing from what do I want? What is my goal? In this example, how can I increase my sales? Say I have an adult daycare, home care, assisted living, whatever. How can I increase my sales by $100,000 next year? How do I do that? What is the practical step-by-step instructions to do that? So we're gonna go down memory lane. I don't know about you guys. My family's in farming. I don't know, we're gonna talk about apples, but I think they're in corn or whatever. They got combines and tractors and fields. For the sake of just creating a little imagery for you, we're gonna talk about apples, right? So the $100,000 increase in sales, think about it like the little farmer taking his basket of apples and he goes to the store and they give him cash, right? But he had to produce those apples first, right? So how did he get to the point to produce those apples to bring them to the store to convert them to cash, right? If his goal was to have $100,000 in sales next year, how many apples did he need to bring to the store to increase sales, right? So the number of customers you might need. How many customers, or what does your customer spend every year on your services on average? Do you know what that number is? Say in this example, you have a customer and you've done your homework and the average customer in your company spends $1,000 a year with you. In order to get that increase in revenue of $100,000, you would need 100 new customers. But how do you do that, right? Now I got down to a tangible number, but I gotta figure out how do I achieve or find 100 new customers, right? So now we gotta go back and kind of talk about what is that gonna take to get those customers. Are you guys familiar? Well, actually, let's get into a little bit of math here, right? You should be able to go and maybe backtrack a little bit and find out how many leads that you've got, how many leads have come through, whether they're tours, phone calls, whatever that might be, that have come through that door. How many leads do you have? How many of those leads turn into customers? Have you ever done that math? Because what you're looking for is the conversion ratio of leads to customers, right? Because I need 100 new customers to get $100,000 in increased revenue. I need them apples. How many apples do I need? But not every harvest produces perfect apples. They only put the best apples on the shelf. The ones that had that little blemish, he didn't make the cut. Maybe one wasn't ripe enough. He's like, look, don't cut me off the tree, leave me alone. But they cut him off anyways, and he didn't make the cut, right? So we have to figure out, what is my conversion ratio? Is it 20%? Is it 30%? Is it 40%? For every 10 leads, are there 3 new customers? Once I figure that out, now I can understand how many new leads I'm gonna need to obtain 100 new customers. So in this case, let's say your conversion ratio is 30%. I got 100 customers I got 100 apples I need to bring in from $100,000. I'm gonna divide that by 30%, and it's gonna come up with 333 apples I need for my harvest. So I need 333 new leads, but how do I get there? This is where your habits, your action, your plan becomes so important, because you ain't gonna have an apple or an orchard field without putting and planting the seeds and nurturing those seeds. And those are the things that you have control over. You don't have control over, if a storm comes through, you don't have control over if there's a drought. You don't have control over any of those things, or what the yield is gonna be, but you have control over how many seeds you plant. You have control on how well you nurture those seeds. And so that being said, the things you have control over is how much money do I spend, maybe on Google, how many leads does that produce? Do I need to increase that spend? But first, before you even think though about what plan you wanna put in place, you gotta ask yourself, where are the majority, my apple pie, what percentage is the majority of my leads coming from? Is it 60% coming from Google, 10% coming from social workers, 5% coming from doctor's offices? Do I know what percentage of the leads I'm getting are coming from where? And if so, then I'm gonna double down on those top 3 to 5 highest referral sources. And I'm gonna double down in those areas. So I might increase my ad spend on Google. I might increase the number of social workers that I visit every week. So say I have 3 social workers and they're producing 5 leads for me each, that's 15 new leads a month. I need to go meet some more social workers to increase the number of new leads. I need to go plant some more seeds to increase the yield of my crop, right? But then I can't just go meet the new social workers. It's not like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Thank you for the 5 leads. No, it's like, hey, nice to meet you. My name is so-and-so. This is what I do. What do you do? What do you like? How many kids do you have? You know, what hobbies do you enjoy? What are you passionate about? You learn about them. You build an authentic relationship. You nurture those seeds, and those seeds will produce results. They will produce new leads. If you authentically take care of them and you nurture them and you love on them and you speak to them and you just all those wonderful things, they're gonna produce leads, they're gonna produce results. You can build authentic relationships. So that being said, we're back now into this formula. So now we finally have the one part of the formula that we actually have control over, and that is the habits and the plan that we put in place in order to generate those leads. And then we generate a harvest. And out of that harvest, like we said before, you're gonna have a certain number of good apples. So the question is, could you increase the number of good apples? That could be a leak in your system. Do you have a proper CRM system to follow up and manage your leads? Do you have something in place that helps them go from the first contact to a tour, to a customer, to actually become a paying customer, right? So those are those things that you gotta think about. Is there a way that if I follow up better, that I can move this potential lead into the customer status because of the way that we followed up, the way that we handled and nurtured the lead along the process? And if so, maybe you bring your conversion ratio from 20% to 40% just by handling those leads better, just by taking care of them apples. Anyways, guys, so this is the way that you take that goal that you have of increasing sales $100,000 and break it down into bite-sized pieces that you can actually have control over. And this is a video that should really actually help you increase your sales because it's gonna provide practical ways to achieve the goals that you're setting, those SMART goals that we've been talking about forever, but never had a plan to implement. So this is the one, guys. Do not take this lightly. Take notes. Go watch it again. Put a plan in place. Take control of the things that you can control. And do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, show some love, share this video with someone you might know. And if you're interested in opening up your own adult daycare, go to adcpro.com. Thank you for joining us on the #1 channel for senior care entrepreneurs. We'll see you on the next one. Now get back to work. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn how to open your own adult daycare center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like the latest business tips, click here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel, click here. We'll see you guys next time.